Capricorns, happy June 2017. Quickly just want to touch base with you guys and let you know that I am going to be adding more numerology to my readings. So in the description box I have a little write-up on how to calculate your personal month and then what those personal months mean. Please utilize it because it's such an incredible tool that really just sets up the framework for your month and what to expect. And it's something that I really just want to talk about further, and I don't want to lose people's understanding. So I hope that you find benefit from it because it's incredible. So for numerology for June, we are in a 6th month. It's the 6th month of the year. And 6 is all about responsibilities, nurturing your family, friends, your relationships, things like that. Not so much relationships, but your relationship to your family and friends, if that makes any sense. So how you are acting toward them. A 6th month is when you're going to find that people are either breaking up or getting married. It's just really, it's a powerful month for sure. And then when you add that to our universal 2017 year, it's a 7. So it's a lot of deep, deep hidden truths coming to the surface in relation to our family and our friends. So whatever's going on inner, it's going to be really proven on the outer, and it's going to manifest in the form of our family and friends, like I said. An example of that is, you know, you look at your wife and you realize that you married your mother, you know, and you realize that she's actually speaking to your inner child in a way. I don't mean literally you married your mother. I mean like there are things that your wife is giving you that your mother couldn't give you when you were a child. So you're recreating that relationship in adulthood as a way for your inner child to get the nurturing that it needs on a deep, deep soul level. And acknowledging that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I realized that the other day, you know, when I was thinking about something that my husband said to me, and I was like, wow, that's something that I wish my dad had said to me. Like, it's almost like I married you to get what I needed from my dad as a kid. So things like that can really, really help. It just allows us to grow more profoundly in a very spiritual way, and allows us to propel forward. Capricorns are all about building. They're all about moving upward. And with, you know, a Capricorn, a lot of the times Capricorns are adults as kids, and then they get more childlike in adulthood because they kind of work backwards in a way. So keep that in mind that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that your inner child wants to get out this month, and just let it flow and see where your childhood is manifesting into your adult life. If you're still young, it's an excellent time to do that because then you're going to set up the framework for your future in a positive way. Okay, so that's numerology. Astrology says that Mercury and Venus are now officially out of our retrograde zone, so we're no longer affected by that. Astrology also says, thank God, that Jupiter is going direct on June 9th. So once Jupiter is direct, we're going to feel a lot more optimistic. We're going to feel a lot more expansive, a lot more creative, a lot more lucky. Like luck is going to feel like it's back, full-blown back. Jupiter direct is beautiful, but keep in mind our ruling planet Saturn, Capricorn's ruling planet Saturn, is still retrograde. It's still retrograde until August 23rd. And when Saturn is retrograde, Saturn puts up a lot of tests, puts up a lot of limitations, puts up a lot of structures, and asks us if we're actually willing to make that commitment or if we're just going to walk away. Saturn is pretty much the ultimatum girlfriend who says either marry me or we break up. Like, you're either getting serious about something or you're walking away from it. Like, Saturn retrograde gives us that opportunity to really see what we really want. Okay, Neptune is going retrograde as well on June 16th, and that's going to really bring our focus to spirituality, the unseen world, our subconscious mind. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, so a lot of the Pisces in our lives are going to be affected by that. in a very profound way. So please bear with them, give them the benefit of the doubt, and recognize that there are bigger forces at play that they just have no control over. Pluto is still in retrograde until April 20th, which is, for me, I'm affected by Pluto profoundly. So like I'm a Plutonian, I guess you could say. And a lot of people in my generation, 1988, are. Pluto in retrograde is doing a lot of transformations, a lot of power struggles, a lot of people saying, where's the hierarchy? Why do you feel that you have this power or control over me? It's not going to work. So a lot of people that you were able to kind of bulldoze over are standing up for themselves. They're speaking their truth. The new moon in Gemini that just passed on May 25th probably had a lot of people speaking out for their worth, for their sense of stability. You know, they're making a lot of profound advancements internally. There's a huge energy shift. I'm sure you felt it. There's a massive, massive energy shift. We're finally slowing down now. We finally feel like we have some grasp over our lives again. The full moon is in Sagittarius on June 9th, and that's really going to give us, that's the same day that Jupiter goes direct, so we're really going to realize where we want to expand. We're going to feel a lot more creative, a lot more optimistic about the future. It's just going to be, June's going to be a great month. June's going to be an absolutely beautiful month. Summer, it feels like summer is here, you know, finally shaving our legs, like we're ready to get out there, and the stars support it, numerology supports it. Spend some time with family and friends, be creative, be optimistic, play some lucky games, take your chance at luck, take your chance at love, take your chance at life in general, and just have fun. Okay, so Capricorn, June 2017, please. Okay, couple cards pulled out. June 2017. June 2017. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because there's a lot of cards that pulled out, I'm going to take these as the theme. I'm going to work with them. So, new money, new focus on money, new optimism for sure, feeling very supported, feeling very empowered, a lot of responsibilities, but it's keeping you on your toes. You got your head down, your head's down in the grind, like you're buckling yourself up. You're okay with the workload because it's really empowering you. You're really realizing that, you know, that slow and steady pace that you had has created something absolutely beautiful. You are incredibly abundant to the point where you don't even have to focus on the abundance. You just know that you're supported, that you can literally focus on the birds in the sky. Like, you're that secure that you're able to just focus on the true beauty of life. Like I said, more responsibility, but you're happy to do it. Like, you're swinging and dancing. You're having fun with it. You're really enjoying it. Are you working your dream job right now? Is that what's going on? Are you really realizing that you couldn't buckle under the pressure of working underneath somebody else's power, and with that power struggle came a huge advancement in your sense of pride? You've really erected yourself, I guess, or you know what I mean? Like, really built yourself up, and you've created something absolutely magnificent. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm really proud of you guys. This is excellent. Okay, so this pretty much is the theme. Just all this opportunity is got you really happy. Like, this is excellent. This is absolutely beautiful. Okay. So because of this new empowerment that you focused on, that made you feel like you have everything together now, you finally have secured what you want to do, who you want to be. Hopefully the Saturn retrograde helped with those, like really put the strain on it to be like, you know, squeezing it out. Like, you got out every last juice that you could, every last drop that you could, and it's incredible because now you are completely empowered. Your partnerships have advanced. Your partner now sees you in a more higher sense, somebody who has it all figured out. You've It's almost like your partner is looking at you like, whoa. And even though you have all these responsibilities, like I said, you're happy to do it because you know that you're working towards something bigger than yourself. And that slow and steady incline has completely perked you. It has perked you right up, and you are just, you're doing well. You've created something absolutely beautiful and nourishing and astonishing, and you are going to definitely feel this month that you are in control, highly decorated, highly capable of great feats. The thing is that it's time to recognize that and walk away from any limiting beliefs, any limiting emotions that say the contrary. And this full moon is the exact time to let those go. If you have any emotional baggage that is saying that you are not worthy of the beauty and the richness and the abundance that's in your life right now, use this full moon on June 9th to let that shit go. Let it go, because you are totally worthy. And it's just your own thoughts that you're especially thinking at night, especially at night when it's quiet. That's when you're like, should I? For me, it's first thing in the morning. I wake up and I'm like, and I just think, and I'm like, why am I starting my day like that? Why am I literally starting my day like that? It's time to end it. It's time for it to end. And once you end these self-deprecating, depreciating, however you say it, thoughts, self-debilitating, self-defeating, there you go, self-defeating thoughts. Try to sound smart. As soon as you get rid of these self-defeating thoughts, that's when you can really walk away with true power. The full moon, that optimism is going to come back. You needed these thoughts. You needed these thoughts to remind yourself that you're human, that you still feel, that you care. You know, like that. It's almost like you're emotionally attached to these thoughts because you're like, okay, this still allows me to feel something that's more realistic than just being completely, cocky about how happy you actually are with all this other responsibility that you have. So definitely time to walk away with the knowledge that you're ending these self-defeating thoughts, because that's how you walk away with true power and true control. Okay? Subconsciously, you know your shit's on fire. You know you are on fire. You know this. You know that you've found your shining star. You know that you have finally found what's going to make you happy, what's going to support you, what's going to fulfill you on so many levels. You know that you got it. It's here. It's just how you think towards it. The ego saying, well, yeah, that's good, but what's next? Yeah, that's good, but what about this? It's just our own thoughts. Realistically, if you just take yourself out of the situation for a second, you'd realize that it's all good. That the decision, that whatever this new situation that came in was absolutely for the best. This is a 27-year of beginnings. So if something is ending or something is beginning, you know that they're both positive because this is the year of beginnings. So you're on track. Something has to end in order for something to begin. So if it ended and something new took its place, hold on to that. A change did just happen. A change absolutely did just happen. And yeah, ego had a huge part of it. A huge part of it. It was all ego-based. It was just reading The Power of Now, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, he's like, a situation isn't a problem until we say it is. A situation just is. It's just that. It's just a situation. It's just uncomfortable or whatever. It's not a problem until we're like, that's a problem. So this change happened, and you know it was a good thing. But maybe ego and your thoughts are saying, well, what about this? Because ego won't let us just be happy with whatever. Like, that's why the ego is so brutal, because it won't just let us be happy and have our head in the clouds and be whimsical, because that's the death of the ego. If the ego doesn't have anything to complain about, it has nothing to strive toward, and ego is fueled by desire. So being happy with what we have is so detrimental to the ego that it will fight to get into your thoughts and sabotage what is potentially the best thing to happen to you. Don't let the ego win. Fight it. This is you right now. You're fighting that because you know, but you're being, so this guy has two shoes on. And this is what, with this card, this is what I notice the most, because one's a shoe that needs to be tied up and one's a boot. So they're two completely different situations. You have the boot, which is all about work, which is about, you know, like I don't want to say aggression, but a boot, like it leaves an imprint, like it leaves a stamp. But then you have the shoe, a running shoe, that is all about forward movement, and it hardly leaves a mark. So it's being torn between that workload and that agility. It's being stopped, being stomped, being grounded, and being free and being agile and making movements and swift and moving at a swift pace. This is the inner conflict. Feeling like you have to be, but then also knowing that the only way to be fully is to keep moving. So that's where we get confused. Friends and family are confused too. Friends and family are totally confused. They're confused when it comes to you. Like, what are they doing? What is coming of this? Nobody knows. All we know when it comes to what's going on now is that it feels good for us and that we're following our path. We're following something that feels good. We liked this change, even though our ego is saying that we shouldn't have, and our pride is saying that we shouldn't have, and our thoughts are saying that we shouldn't have. We actually really, really needed this change on a soul level, and family and friends are like, so what's next? You had that change, you're happy, but what's going on? What's going to happen? And that's really terrifying for our family and friends, because our family and friends expect us to know what's going on, because we are the grounded sign. And because we're so mature, and because we're so committed and focused. So now that we're like, they're like, wait, what? What about your ambitions? What about your this? What about your that? And we're just like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm good. So they're in the dark. They're totally in the dark. It's okay to be confused, and it's okay for them to be confused as well. But acknowledge that your family and friends are definitely really confused with what's going on with you, and it might be time to address that. I'm really hoping after Saturn goes direct, there'll be more, because Saturn is retrograde, everything goes inward. So although it may seem like we've created these obstacles for ourselves from the people looking in, but that's not the case at all. Saturn has created a lot of these obstacles, a lot of these changes, and a lot of these endings to support us. So the people on the outside are like, what are you doing? But we're like, we have no control. So it's of course very frustrating for family and friends, and just very confusing. So just talk with them and help them understand that you don't understand what's going on. All you know is that you're happy, okay? Hope and fear, you built up a lot. You're incredibly built up. You want to continue to build, but you're fearful of that because it might impede on your creativity and your optimism if it's more of a focus on build, build, build. Because we're so happy right now, it's scary to keep going because we're like, well, what if things change? This change came in and affected us in a positive way, affected on our soul level a positive way. Maybe on the ego level, it seemed incredibly negative. So we're like, let's get back to the grind. We hope to continue to build, but we're also fearful because we realize that we've been hurt before. Our ego has absolutely been hurt before. So we hope and we fear that. The outcome, everything's looking really good. We're going to get our focus back. We're going to transform. We're going to be able to touch base with our inner child and get back to what really is going to empower us and change our thoughts around. Because we're supported. We're going to really see that this month. We're incredibly supported. It is magical how supported we are. It is beautiful how supported we are. Okay? Indigo card for Capricorns. June 2017. Indigo, Capricorn. June 2017. What is the advice that Capricorns need for June 2017? Card for Capricorns. Authority. Losing authority, clearly. Fumbling with it. You are in charge of your happiness. At the end of the day, I know that Capricorns feel like they need to answer to Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they need to justify what they're doing. You don't. You are your authority. If you give your power away to other people by saying that, oh, well, I want to do this, but this person says don't, you are your authority. Let your wings shine. Let your halo out. Let your wings out. Glow up. Build yourself up. Because the thing with giving away your authority is that it passes the blame. If I'm not happy, well, it's because you said that I had to stay here, or I had to do this, or I had to get a job, or I blah, 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 blah. You put that on them. You give that to them. But when you're doing well, you also give that to them. You can't give authority away when you're not happy, but then not give it away when you are. Like, it just doesn't work like that. So if you decide that you're going to take control of your authority and you're going to say, I'm doing this for my happiness, then when you're upset, you can also acknowledge the fact that you're upset because of your own decisions, and then you can make those changes. But if we put everything on other people saying, I can't do this because you said this, or I can't, or I'm going to do this because you said this, when we're happy, when we're upset, it's not, we don't own it. It's somebody else's, and they can take it away from us. They can give it back. It's not right. We need to take control. Okay? So, love you guys so much. Hope you have an amazing June, and I will talk to you in July. Happy summer, guys. Love you, Capricorns. Bye.